position. Combinations are committee. So if I was saying that I want to pick Sue, Bob, and Jim for a committee, does it matter if I pick Sue, Bob, Jim, or Jim, Bob, Sue, or it doesn't matter the order, that's why it's a combination. But if I want Sue to be first place, Jim to be second place, if I wanted them in a position, Sue to be president, Jim to be vice president, Bill to be secretary, but then I say, Jim, I want you president, does the order matter? Yes. So, permutation is when order matters. Combination is when order does not matter. So if you're picking for a team, like a football team or a soccer team, and you're picking a group of people and saying, y'all are all on my team, I don't care which order I pick you, y'all are still on my team. You know, Madison's on the cheer squad. It didn't matter if she was picked first or last, she still made the team. Okay? So, now, here is a formula. It's NPR equals N factorial over N minus R factorial. N is the number of items. R is the number selected. Your calculator can do the NPR for you. So, I really am not going to go over, I'll go over it one time, so if you don't have a calculator at home, but this, you can do in your calculator. Okay, and I'll show you how. The Big 12 is a college athletic conference with 10 schools. How many different final standings are possible? So, I want to know how many different ways can I place them first, second, third, fourth, fifth at the end of the semester. So there's 10 schools and I want to know how many different ways I can arrange them from the best to the worst. So do you agree that position matters? Okay, so order matters. That's why it's a permutation. Okay, now when we do, this is the number of teams. So how many teams do we have? 10. It's the Big 12, but there's only 10 teams. Go figure. Now, this is the number of teams selected. How many teams are we looking at?
10.
All 10 of them. Okay, so we're doing the permutation of 10 teams and we're selecting all 10 of them. Now, here's how you do it in your calculator. You type in the 10, which is your first number, and then we're going to do math over to probability, and number 2 is where it says, it's right above the factorial, is N, right there, and then you put in the last number. Okay, now if you want to use the formula, I will show you the formula. It's going to be, let me do one with the different numbers because it's going to be hard to show you with how many different standings are possible for the top 3 football teams. Okay, same problem. We have 10 football teams in the Big 12. I want to know how many ways can we pick the top 3. First place, second place, third place, I don't care about anything else. Okay? So that way our numbers are not the same. So, order matters. So that's why it's a permutation. So we're doing a P. Now, my first number is the total number of teams. What is my total number of teams? 10. My back number is how many I'm picking. I'm picking 3. So I'm picking 3 teams out of 10. First place, second place, and third place. So in my calculator, I would do the 10 first, and then I would do math over to probability NPR, and then I'm picking 3 of the 10 teams. So there are 720 different ways that I can pick the top 3 teams out of 10. Now, if you want to use the formula says, and let me copy it and pull it down. So if I want to use the formula, just to show you, it's going to be 10 factorial over 10 minus 3 factorial, okay? Which means 10, and I'm just going to show you how easy it is. It's 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. That's really what my top is, correct? Now, what is 10 minus 3?
7.
So the bottom is 7 factorial. So that's 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. All of these cancel. So the answer is really 10 times 9 times 8, or 720. Cool? All right, let's look at another one. A typical combination lock, like you used to have back in the day, before they took all the lockers out of the schools now, uses 3 numbers, each between 0 and 49. Opening the lock requires entry of 3 numbers in the correct order. Is the name combination appropriate?
No.
No, because combination means
No.
order does not matter. So that means that if your combination was 32, 15, 7, then it could be 7, 15, 32, and it still would open. So combination is not the right name. It should be called a permutation lock. Permutation means order matters. So, we're doing a permutation. The front number is how many total choices, how many total things do you have? You'll better tell me the right answer.
49.
Ah, you have 50. You gave it to me, Kay. You have 50. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 50. How many are you choosing?
3.
You are choosing 3 numbers out of the 50. So you're going to do 50p3. So if I come over here, I'm going to do 50 math over to probability down to number 2 and then 3. That is how many different combinations. So if you're worried about somebody breaking into your youngin's locker at school, that is how many different combinations there are to get into a lock. Yay?
I like this a little better.
Isn't this fun?
This is better than other ones.
The answer.
Hold on. Yes, it is. It sure is. I'm gonna mark that out. All right, we'll do a couple more permutations and then we'll finish up with the combinations. We have 2, 4, 5.5 pages left. So we'll finish up those and then we'll do some review on Tuesday. I will send y'all an email about all the due dates that we talked about. Y'all hang in there.
I was like, split that for the night.
Kelsey, can you
I was split that.
shut it?
I was like, I was doing it.